I am delighted to talk with Dr. Anna Katz of the University of Wisconsin, who will be joining a C2ST panel this Monday, November 13th, discussing unconscious bias. How do you look at the problems of unconscious bias from a computational perspective?
Before even coming to the tool of science, I train my students in what unconscious bias is, how it presents. And that all comes from psychology, like experimental studies. We try to detect it in text, like evaluations people write about other people's work or in conversations. You need to first know what you're looking for. And a lot of times you see, like in computer science, people developing these things and they don't know what they're going to be used for. And they're not very good at detecting like real world phenomena. And so we figure out what we're trying to look for and how it could arise and how it could be detected. And then we build algorithms to look for those phenomena. A machine is unbiased. It's biased with respect to like what you tell it to do, either doing it or not under this definition. The human mind is not able to do that. So like thinking about science, like if we sort of know what we want, and we're pulling it from like experimental studies, and again, there's bias everywhere, and we can program something to look for it. And like with machine learning algorithms, like now machines can learn how to look for more patterns and things that we can't even see, but we have to interpret.
It does sound like a part of what you're saying is that algorithms do not share some of the biases that we humans do.
Yeah, and people debate that.
Well, they will they will simply search for whatever parameters you select without regard to what their favorite names are or whether or not that collection of symbols reminds them of something in kindergarten.
People keep publishing studies saying like, this algorithm was gender biased in its output. And I'm thinking like, no, it wasn't. The data that you fed into it was gender biased.
I think I hear you saying that part of what you are going to be talking about with the C2ST gang on November 13th is that biases are ubiquitous in the culture. Are some possible exceptions attended there too, like perhaps machines, but that we are all well served by being aware of those unconscious biases to which we are subject and thus being better armed against them.
A lot of us, we have egalitarian conscious beliefs and we're not even aware that we're sort of like being told all these implicit messages about how to treat people. And when people find that out, it's very motivating. To try to want to learn, like, okay, so what is this? And how can I become aware of it? And then what can I do to make sure my behavior and unconscious processing reflects my egalitarian beliefs?
I want to put you on the spot here at the end and ask you to give us one bit of advice, one little step that we can institute this afternoon in the service of our better, more egalitarian and less biased selves.
There's a ton of studies showing that the stronger you believe like you are objective, the more biased your decision making is. Because if you think you're objective, you're more likely to rely on your automatic thoughts. And we know your automatic thoughts are probably the ones that are sort of coming from those unconscious places, sort of like making associations. So I always think if you know that you're not objective, that's a place to start.
Well, those of us who have questions and are questioning unconscious bias will be there for your talk, Dr. Anna Katz. Thank you immensely much for talking with me.
Oh, sure. It was really fun to talk to you. You're fabulous.
Well, I hope this is the best day of your life.
All right. Thank you.